Well, good afternoon and welcome to this week's LeaderBite. I'm sitting here with one of my good friends and professional colleagues over a number of years, gosh, over a decade now, Mr. Andy Jones, ladies and gentlemen. And Andy and I were just talking about the idea of the K.I.S.S principle, K-I.S.S, and how complex it is.
Yeah, we were just talking about it. It actually originated from an Air Force, I think a series of, or group of engineers. And they came up with this idea or this acronym and said, well, what if we have this this way to keep things really simple? We can just say, keep it simple, stupid, or Sally,
which is ironic,
or silly, or or whatever. Yeah, it is. You were talking about.
Yeah, because the idea of keeping something simple and then adding an extra word to define how not simple keeping it simple could be. But we do that all the time.
Complex. We do. Like what's IPA stand for?
The acronym.
Yeah.
The acronym in adult world, I believe, is the Indian Pale Ale for beer, right?
It's also known as delicious.
Oh, that's right. What about DNA? DNA.
Dinosaur. I don't know what.
Again, the idea of keeping it simple is taking something so extreme and compacting it so that it makes sense and can be transferred.
Right.
And so we were thinking about it from a leadership perspective, and we were also talking about this story from PNG. Do you know what PNG? What's the country PNG? Andy, do you remember?
I don't know the answer to this unless you would have told me.
Right.
That it's Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea, a beautiful country above Australia. It's actually not a really developed country, and I was telling Andy how I got to spend early 2000s. I made 2 trips there, and remember a study that was done there about how sociologists, psychologists went into the depths of the jungle. They grabbed 5 tribal men and women and took them into a first world city to see what the experience would be like for simple living transferred into complex. Massive skyscrapers and supermarkets and digital technology that they may have never seen. And when they surveyed them, and the data they received when they came back was, what was most impressive to you? They didn't say it was the skyscrapers or the rah-rah, the sexy technology everywhere. It wasn't anything but a construction worker walking through a site with a wheelbarrow. And they said, that is what we could use. That is what we could use.
It's crazy.
So as we take that and kind of bring it back into the business world, Andy, I know that you manage what? How many people do you manage?
Around 20.
Okay, so Andy's a manager of 20 people. It's a big organization. How do you keep it simple? What does that mean when you're a manager?
Yeah, I think there's a long list of ways that we can keep it simple, but that's not keeping it simple.
Right.
I'll leave you with the two things that I care a lot about. I care about consistently reminding the people that I work with of why we do what we do, or we call it the win. Because it's so easy to get caught up with my head in the clouds, or to find this this big picture idea, or to even kind of deviate from the path that our organization is headed. Right. But if you reframe the win, or if you refocus on the win, and you point people to, no, this is why we do what we do. This is why you quit doing that to come and do this. Right. That can be so powerful and so timely. And the second thing is, I'm a big fan of making sure that people know that you care about them personally. In a work environment, it's so easy to just to worry about what they produce. But are you really worrying about them as a person? Are you learning their kids' names? Are you asking whenever their husband gets sick, or are you celebrating their birthday? Or are you doing the little things that really keep them connected to you on a personal level? And a lot of people like to draw the line between, nope, that's, I have a professional relationship with them only. Well, you're probably going to get, professional results, and they're probably going to draw a line in the sand. But in my experience, keeping it simple with a team of people or staff of people that know that we love and we care about each other, it can be critical in correcting and redirecting and having a sit-down conversation with, no, I don't need you to focus on this sideways energy project. I need you to come back to this one topic or this one task that we had talked about before. They don't take that personally because they know that I care about them personally and I want what's best for them. So I would say those two things.
The win and then the relationship.
Yeah,
and I don't think there's anything more basic than that. That's the wheelbarrow, I guess, amongst the sexiness of the great work that you get to do. So perfect model, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you giving time, Mr. Andy Jones.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week on LeaderBite. Hopefully this, the KISS principle, is something that you can chew on.